It's time to play the podcast. Doo-doo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Defenders, presented by Bpoint5 Gaming with your host. It's me, Alex Lopez, and my buddy Grant Levron, here to talk about the 2016 edition of WWE FASTLANE. How you doing, Grant?
I am as about underwhelmed right now as the pay-per-view, I have to say.
We're about a week removed from the pay-per-view. Nothing happened, in short. Nothing really happened. It was as predictable as it could be, but except minus the main event. We'll get to that in a bit. So, we'll just get right into it. We start off with the Kickoff Show. They advertised the Del Rio versus Kalisto U.S. Championship match.
Which, I'm sorry, how do you make a title defense match, a 2 out of 3 falls match, mind you, the Kickoff Show? That makes no sense to me.
I was thinking that as well, especially Del Rio and Kalisto, because they had a really solid match last month.
Yeah, exactly. And getting any type of solid wrestling out of Alberto Del Rio is amazing as it is. But how do you make that your kickoff show presented by Kickstarter or whatever the hell? I'm borderline ready for them to start being like Butterball Turkeys.
Butterball Turkeys. And then they advertised AJ Styles on the social media lounge. For commentary for the Kickoff Show was JBL, Mauro Ronaldo, and Byron Saxton. I was really excited because I thought Mauro Ronaldo was going to replace Michael Cole for the announcing for the entire pay-per-view, but my luck was not so great.
But we can only dream, right?
We could only dream. Actually, this is the first time I've heard him.
Yeah.
Since he got to the company.
And how refreshing is it to have someone who is announcing a wrestling match actually talk about the goddamn wrestling?
Exactly. And because I think when you're new to announcing, you don't really care too much about people oh, he's jerky, she's a bitch. He's he did an arm drag. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. But that's mildly refreshing because I miss personally someone like a Jim Ross, someone who could react, someone that could tell a story. But also he understood what wrestling was. He understood the fact that, hey, that's an armbar. Here's how you do an armbar.
Yeah.
And this is how insane the movie just did win. Instead of being oh, look at him, Maggle, or oh, God. Every single time I hear Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, or JBL talk, I just insert pencils into my ears.
You know what's a great announcing team that doesn't get enough credit? Is Todd Grisham and Todd Grisham and Jim Ross.
Yeah.
And from 2009, because I have a 2009 DVD of Judgment Day.
Uh-huh.
And the announcing is fucking solid. They were the announcing team for SmackDown back in the day. But I'm still really confused. They didn't. I understand if they had a bad match at Royal Rumble, but they had a really solid match. So I don't know why they were delegated to the pre-show.
Who knows? Who knows anything anymore? I kind of feel like WWE at this point is kind of like a senior age college student, to where after so many cigarettes and so many cups of coffee, they just start throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah. This match, I actually really enjoyed this match, actually. I don't think it was as awesome as the last one, or as solid, but it was still really good. Especially because they actually made, that double foot stomp thing Del Rio does?
Yeah.
They actually made it look cool when he did a thing Kalisto, or he was about to run, Del Rio was about to run at Kalisto was about to kick him, Del Rio grabbed his foot and threw him through the rope, and then he did the springboard stomp to get the pin for the second fall. We'll get into that. It actually made it look really fucking cool. Anyway, so, we'll start in the beginning. Del Rio gets the heat early, goes on the offense for the left arm, and he does that for a little bit in the beginning of the match, and then I guess he kind of decides to not, because I don't remember him going for the arm bar at any point. So there really wasn't any point to working on the left arm.
Nah, just the way I've seen Alberto Del Rio work as of recently, it's really freaking stiff now.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see him hit someone or work a body part, I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? It kind of reminds me of the work I saw in Ready to Rumble. He's pulling some David Arquette type shit right now.
It was actually all really good. Again, like the last one, there was one big botch, but this one wasn't as big as the last one where he fell on his head. This one was more, Del Rio went for that kick he does on the outside. They were on the outside. He goes for the kick, and he misses entirely, but Kalisto still sells it.
Yeah.
So, that wasn't too bad. And the first fall was gained by Kalisto when Del Rio hit him with a chair. And I had forgot that Kalisto was the one that won that fall. I don't know why my brain, because I watched this pay-per-view twice. The first time I watched it, I forgot that the fall was given to Kalisto for the DQ. I don't know why I assumed Del Rio was going to win that one. And before the bell, second bell rang, Del Rio is throwing Kalisto into each four corners of the barricades, and then we go to commercial, which is like a commercial for every show on the network that I'm not going to watch, because I don't fucking care. And then we come back, and then Del Rio is still beating on Sin Cara, like ring the bell, and then the crowd starts chanting ring the bell, but the bell, the timekeeper never rings the bell. I guess we just assume he goes into the second fall without ringing the bell.
Is the timekeeper and the bell ringer now like a story tool? Are we this scrapped for storylines where we're like, let's make the timekeeper an asshole? I mean, damn, we already brought refs into it, already brought the authority into it, announcers. Might as well make the timekeeper a heel.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Lillian's gonna go heel. And then after 30 seconds, we got back to commercial. That's when Del Rio hit the stomp from the ropes. It looks so much fucking better. And then Del Rio got the second fall, so it's tied 1-1. And at some point, Del Rio keeps trying to take off the mask of Kalisto, which has me wondering if they're going to do like a mask thing at Mania.
I couldn't imagine that, because anytime they do like a mask thing with like either Rey Mysterio or now like we're teasing it with Kalisto, it never goes well. Okay, let's be honest. Like, the whole luchador mask thing is really revered in Mexico and places where the lucha style is very prominent and popular. But in America, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. Oh, Kalisto took off his mask. Well, that's cool. Can you put it back on and beat Del Rio's ass? Like, come on.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at one point, there was a fake Sin Cara a while back, a few years ago, and like they put the mask back on him, and then no one cared.
Exactly. No one cares about the mask deal. They just want to see this little tiny man do flips.
Yeah, they do a lot. Like, an insane amount of foot stomp teases. Mm-hmm. I think they should have dedicated a bit of those teases to doing the arm breaker.
Yeah. Which
would have made more sense because he was targeting the left arm for a while. But anyway, Del Rio tries to get the win by count out. Kalisto rolls in at 9. They tease another stomp, and then he misses. Here's my thing with the stomp and missing. Like, how does anyone get caught with this move anymore? Because it's been reversed. Like, all you have to do is, like, it takes less energy to reverse the move than it does to be hit by it.
Exactly.
And then they hit the Selena do. Actually, Kalisto teases the Selena do Sol from the turnbuckle, and then he turned to a roll-up, and Kalisto wins the third fall. Means he wins the entire match. Again, it was a really solid match. I still like the one from Royal Rumble a little bit more.
Exactly. Like, the whole story of this pay-per-view was like the first 2 or 1 hour. It was just solid wrestling. It was fine. It was a good lead-up.
Yeah. And then we had the AJ on the social media lounge. And when he debuted, people were saying, like, he needs to get a haircut. I'm like, you shut your mouth. AJ looks fine.
Exactly. AJ with his beautiful long hair. You look at him in his TNA days, and he looks like a douchey frat country boy.
He needs a different hairstyle, but I don't know about cutting his hair.
Exactly. No, like, maybe a different hairstyle. Maybe kind of, get kind of a peacock thing going, or maybe a huge mohawk. Who knows?
He used to get a page out of Dolph Ziggler's book. Who, by the way, Dolph Ziggler, this month, this pay-per-view looked atrocious.
Why does he keep braiding the hair?
It looked like, you know who he looks like? I'll show you a picture of it. He looks like Alexa from 50 First Dates.
Yeah, he does. Oh my god.
He's like, I like muscles. That chick, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like, is Dolph Ziggler just like the redheaded stepchild of WWE now? They're like, who do we need to give a match? Oh shit, we need someone to challenge for the fucking Intercontinental Championship. Give it to Ziggler.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, so here's Dolph.
Oh
okay?
god.
And then here's the chick from 50 First Dates.
Oh god.
It looks exactly the same, doesn't it?
Just a crown of braids.
It looks so bad.
Actually, a funny thing is that I was at Walmart yesterday, and I had walked by the toy station like a grown man does, and I saw a Dolph Ziggler action figure, and it had a championship belt, but it wasn't the WWE championship. It was the Intercontinental Championship, and I was like, poor Dolph, man. Even his action figure can't get put over.
Yeah. Then we start the actual show, and I'm really sad they replaced Ronaldo with Cole, but I guess I should be more upset he didn't replace Byron Saxton. Okay, first, before we get into anything, JoJo, because I'm going to reference her a lot because she's interviewing a lot of people throughout this entire show. I feel conflicted with Jojo and Byron because yes, they're new. You know, you got to give them time to learn how to do things, but they're so bad.
Yeah, it's so stiff. Hearing them commentate in an interview is kind of like hearing my 5-year-old niece tell a story. So I went to the park today, and then I was like, I want to be the princess. But then Melanie was like, no, I want to be the princess. It's like, oh my God, shoot me now.
Is your 5-year-old cousin a chain smoker?
Maybe. I don't know her life. She's an adult, kind of.
Maybe at 5 years old.
Maybe. Who knows?
Kids today. Anyway, so it actually started with the Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Naomi and Tamina match.
Which is so refreshing to see a start-out match be a women's match. Not even that, but a women's tag match.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that bad.
I think they need it because they have 2 women's matches in this show, so I guess they kind of need to space them out.
Which, by the way, like, growing up in our time frame in WWE, like, late Attitude area. This is the Attitude Area. The Attitude Era to now, it was, like, very much like, oh, here's the token women's match. If you have to go pee, now's the time to go pee, I guess.
Yeah, well, because they went to 3 hours for Raw, they have time for 2 women's matches a show, right?
Exactly, and now it's so refreshing to see that, to see two women's matches on the card, because this right now is probably some of the best women's wrestling I've ever seen in WWE, like ever.
This match, I liked it. Again, it wasn't as good as the last month, because the last month was not anything awesome, but it was
solid.
It was solid. There was really nothing too special about it. I found the weirdest part of this match was at some point, I think it was Sasha Banks who's pinning Naomi, then Tamina pulls her out. And then Sasha chases Tamina around the ring as if she's a threat to Tamina. Because isn't Tamina saying like, oh, she's not very good, but she's actually like powerful and strong or whatever the fuck? Because they make that a reference like every time she's in the ring.
Oh, who knows? Who the hell knows anymore?
I found that really weird that Sasha was chasing Tamina, and then Tamina goes in the ring and Sasha chases her, and then Sasha gets hit with the rear view.
Oh God, I have such a problem with the rear view.
Oh yeah?
You're hitting someone with your ass. That is easily one of the most stupid moves I've ever seen. It's worse than the Boston Crab. It's worse than the Boston Crab. I mean, I'm sure getting hit with someone's butt hurts, but let's give her a little bit more credit than that, because she's actually a very good wrestler.
Oh, yeah. I am not one to ogle at women or the divas.
Oh, not at all.
But if they made a 3-hour pay-per-view that was just Naomi in hot pants, I would pay full money for that.
Forget $9.99. Give me the old pay-per-view cost.
Give me $60. I would pay that gladly to watch Naomi in hot pants. Oh my God. Again, I am not one to ogle at the ladies, but Jesus Christ. Damn. Anyway, so Sasha and Becky Lynch pick up the win. No surprises there.
Yeah.
And then they reference Machine Gun Kelly, who was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And Michael Cole had the hardest time saying MGK. He said every other syllable except MGK. It was just the hardest, like...
Yo, we got the next hottest rapper here in the crowd, LMNOP. I mean, QZW. I mean, oh, God damn it, what's his name? MGK. Yeah, that's it.
And I love they make that argument like, oh, you're just excited, Michael. Like, they always do, like, whenever someone fucks up, they go like, oh, you're just excited. It's okay. It's cool.
No, Michael Cole just doesn't know how to speak. And also... I kind of wish Kevin Owens just put MGK through a table again, like he did last year.
I thought they were going to do something with that because that's the last thing MGK did.
Yeah, same. Like, if you follow that through, it's kind of like how they're planning stuff with Ronda Rousey at the next WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. It's like, carry that through. Maybe MGK puts Kevin Owens through a table.
Do you think MGK could pick up Kevin Owens?
Actually, yeah, solid point. Probably years of rapping, drinking alcohol, and smoking weed isn't making him so healthy.
For as tiny as that person is, he cannot pick up a man as massive as Kevin Owens.
Oh God, no.
And then we go into the Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler match. I like this one a lot because I watched it twice. I wasn't really too into it the first time, but the second time I watched it, I'm like, this is actually a lot better than what I remember it being.
Yeah.
But again, it's just I like Dean Ambrose working with Kevin Owens a bit more than I like Dolph Ziggler working with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, same. Because, like, Ambrose and Owens, it was very much like two chaotic things meeting at once, and then they create something beautiful. Mm-hmm. But with Dolph and Kevin Owens, it's kind of like having your friend that had a football scholarship, but then tore his ACL a month before graduation, and your buddy that like is doing great things, but you know he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Kind of come together. That's all it is.
We talked before about how everyone does a super kick now.
Yeah, like everyone's super kicking everybody.
I wonder how Shawn Michaels feels about that, because I remember a while back, Stone Cold Steve Austin said that he wasn't really into people doing the DDT because it makes Jake Roberts' finish look like shit.
Yeah.
Or it makes he didn't like Cena doing the stunner.
Yeah.
Or that springboard because it makes his move not look effective.
Yeah.
I wonder how he feels about that. How Shawn Michaels would feel seeing everyone do a super kick all the time.
Well, when a guy as big as Rusev is clocking people in the face with a super kick, that's when you know it's too much.
I think it's impressive when Rusev does it because he's a big guy, but he's really flexible and agile.
I mean, it's impressive, but if you look at it, if you look at character and you look at moveset, you're not gonna imagine like Dean Ambrose doing a swanton bomb, or you're not gonna imagine like a John Cena doing a spear.
I'm thinking that in my head. I'm like, damn, that looks fucking weird.
Yeah, it does look weird, right? That's what I think whenever I see like Rusev do a super kick, or well, Del Rio and Sheamus have kind of done super kicks before.
Has Sheamus done super kicks? He's more of the bro kick kid.
Yeah, still, but seeing Sheamus kick, no big deal. Seeing people like Rusev kick is a little strange.
Yeah, I think he's trying to fit with the Samoans, who are like these really huge guys that super kick everybody.
Yeah, and then like when Kevin Owens super kicks someone, it happens once in a blue moon, and it's great, and
it's cool as shit.
You don't expect it. But then like let's take the Royal Rumble for example, to where like everyone's holding Roman Reigns down, and they're holding like a kick Roman Reigns in the face booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it loses its luster.
And there was one point where Dolph tried to tune up the band.
That's weird.
I never liked the tune up the band part because you're alerting your opponent to the fact that you're doing your move.
It's more of a showboating thing, really.
I understand, but at the same time, like, it's wrestling. Nothing. It's all staged, but whatever. But it's still like that's really weird to me. Logically, why would you want to do that? Tune up the band.
Yeah, really, because you're like making the ring move around so much.
Yeah.
And like, if I'm there and I feel the ring moving around, I'm like, oh, he's about to do something. I'm gonna get out the way.
Yeah. Anyway, Kevin Owens wins. No surprise there.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear me say that a lot. That's gonna be my new catchphrase. No surprise there.
No surprise. This is kind of like a birthday party you plan for yourself. No surprise. I mean.
And then after the match, what is up with Kevin Owens and Michael Cole? Did Michael Cole say something about Kevin Owens at some point?
I guess Kevin Owens is just supposed to be the guy that like doesn't give a shit. Like he's the Canadian Stone Cold.
Maybe, but it's just like, if that is supposed to be part of his character, it doesn't really make too much sense because everyone, WWE knows that we don't like Michael Cole.
Yeah.
So when you have a heel getting Michael Cole's face, like, it's a bit confusing. Unless it's just Kevin Owens as being a literal person who he is, not liking Michael Cole.
Oh, trust me, I'll get more into this later. But WWE is really not understanding what heels and faces are supposed to do anymore.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, like, is that like a WrestleMania setup kind of? Because they've been doing this for a while.
Maybe.
Not like they're gonna have a match. I doubt they. No, they would not have a match. But I think like maybe Michael Cole is supposed to blow up at Kevin Owens at WrestleMania or some shit. I don't know. And then at one point he rips a sign from a fan that has like Dolph Ziggler or whatever on it. I thought that was funny because they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, like I think that only happened one time at like a house show recently, to where like Dolph was facing somebody. I think it was Del Rio, and then Del Rio ripped the little girl's sign, and then like Dolph proceeded to beat the crap out of him, and then like gave the little girl his shirt or something.
And then actually when Dolph Ziggler was coming out of the entrance, I want to say he's coming out. I don't want to have breaking news for you there.
Dolph Ziggler comes out. I mean, come on, who wears that much neon?
Who has all that pink? Anyway, New Day. But when he was coming out, like, Byron Saxton's like, oh, he's from Cleveland? I thought he was from Hollywood. And, like, hasn't that been Dolph Ziggler's thing? Like, yeah, he resides in Hollywood, but he's from Cleveland.
Again,
hasn't that been part of his thing for years?
Again, letting announcers talk that really shouldn't talk.
Yeah. What the hell just happened here? Okay. So then I wrote down, we have a backstage segment between three big, bald, white dudes backstage. You had Big Show, then Ryback, and then Kane talk about survival of the fittest and whatever the fuck. And then we had the Wyatts versus Big Show, Kane, and Ryback, which is called the Titans.
The
for whatever
Titans,
reason.
for some reason. But I mean, if you really want to know, I see a big bipolar baby, a guy that doesn't know what he is anymore, and then you have Ryback.
I guess they're called Titans now because the Wyatts are calling themselves the new gods of WWE.
Well, when I see people like the Big Show and then I see Kane, I just see two out of shape dads. Like they remind me of the two dads at like a family picnic that take the three-legged race way too seriously.
Oh yeah, I didn't write too many notes about the actual match, just like my anger towards it. I wrote down Jesus Christ, Ryback's new gear.
Yeah, I miss the unitard. I don't know what this black tight shit is. I guess they're trying to make him into like the next Goldberg.
No, I thought they were trying to get away from that because remember when he debuted, or the Ryback character debuted, they kept chanting Goldberg, and they're like, okay, nobody chanted that anymore. That's been like a year since anybody chanted that.
Bring back his cowboy hat and his really crappy vest.
Oh, the Skip Sheffield gimmick.
Make him skip Sheffield, but still call him Ryback and don't say anything.
No, I just found it so. Why would you go back? Why don't you progress? Like, why would you go back to they're gonna chant that because he's wearing the exact same shit as Goldberg.
Because WWE has like a 3-month memory, and then after that, it's just gone forever.
Yeah, I found it really hilarious that the crowd not only chanted Goldberg, but they chanted Gilberg. Did you not hear that?
Yeah,
that was hilarious. And then I put with the notes, fucking Rowan starts with Ryback, so then that's when I got really excited. I hit Ryback hits drop kick from second rope. I have not ever seen him hit a drop kick.
That's strange, yeah.
And then at some point Big Show tags in and he rips Rowan's shirt open like that weird.
That's weird, yeah.
You ever seen? I don't like seeing Rowan's body. It's kind of weird. Not that he's out of shape or anything. It's just like I'm not used to it.
I didn't know Rowan was still wrestling. Half the time whenever I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, he's still a person. He's still a thing. Because I mean, I see Luke Harper. Cool, Luke Harper. Then I see Braun Strowman. I'm like, okay, cool, Braun Strowman. And then of course you have Bray Wyatt. And then I see this bald, bearded Mr. Clean, and I'm like, are you a wrestler? Where have you been?
And then I say, okay, Harper comes in, gets heat, and then they tag in Braun Strowman. The crowd immediately groans. Like, there's no boos. They're just like, ugh. This was actually a really fun crowd.
Yeah, no, I always love to see a freaking Ohio crowd because they always know how to bring just, good crowd energy and actual good feedback.
Yeah, and then who the fuck keeps letting Ryback do the CM Punk knee thing?
Who knows?
I know he didn't invent doing knees, but, they know that's what CM Punk does.
Yeah, and that was, the biggest troll thing ever. I think he hit, 4 in the corner
he hit
at
4,
one point.
I think.
Yeah, it was just, that's the biggest troll move ever.
And the fact that it's Ryback doing it when they know, that's the two who have, the...
Yeah. Actually, did you know he got on Twitter and apologized?
For doing the knee thing?
Yeah, he sent out a tweet. He was at CM Punk, sorry, I am dumb as shit.
When?
I want to say a few weeks ago, or a week or two ago.
I did not know that. Why the fuck would I follow Ryback on Twitter?
I don't follow him. It was one of those really shitty Facebook ad for some shitty countdown website.
Oh, okay.
Ryback apologizes.
And then at some point I say, I think on the 4th knee, he almost tosses himself out of the ring.
Makes about as much sense as Ryback, yeah.
Yeah. And then Cole says he looks like a cruiserweight flying around. Does he though?
Does Cole understand what a cruiserweight is?
I hope so, because he is half the size of one. Anyway, the Titans win. That was the only surprise, because I was positive, why the fuck would Big Show, Kane, and Ryback win against the Wyatts?
Who the hell knows anymore, dude? I'm gonna be real. I'm not feeling so good as we're recording this. I'm tired, and I feel like I should be at this level because that's what this pay-per-view had me at the level of. I watched this pay-per-view while I was cooking, while I was cleaning, while I did really, while I was researching string theory. You could not pay attention to this pay-per-view and still understand what's going on.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a lot shorter than the Royal Rumble edition of Wrestling Defenders because I didn't take a lot of notes because there's nothing that happened in this show.
Yeah, there's literally nothing that's going on.
Anyway, so Then they have okay, so I thought when the Titans won, I go, oh, the Wyatts, when they lose at a pay-per-view, they fuck over somebody else later. I'm like, oh, they're totally going to fuck over Lesnar now. Okay.
Yeah.
And then with that, of course they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't screw him over. I'm like, why? Because in my mind, they fucked over Lesnar at the Rumble when they tossed him out when they weren't supposed to be in the match anyway, right?
Yeah.
And then Lesnar just left. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to beat him up at Raw. And then he didn't. I'm like, okay, they're going to do a thing at Fastlane. And they didn't. So, in a way, the Wyatts just made Brock look like a bitch at the Rumble.
Pretty much, yeah.
And nothing came of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, like I've always said, they're like, who do we need to do shit with? Is it Brock now? Fuck it, give him to the Wyatts.
Yeah. I would have liked to seen that because I like the idea of Wyatt going against somebody that's really no nonsense. That's why I've been super into the idea of like Kevin Owens versus Wyatt.
Exactly like that would be great to see like this guy that's like, all right, I don't know what all this weird hippy dippy spiritual bullshit is, but I'm tired of it and I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, like when Kevin Owens first debuted at NXT about what was it, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like he was the Brock Lesnar of NXT.
Yeah.
He was a guy who was beating up anybody he wanted to because he can,
mm-hmm.
and he didn't give a fuck. Like even like I thought that was a real big surprise when Kevin Owens debuted on Raw to challenge John Cena because like he debuted like a month ago. He shouldn't be like, I'm gonna fight you, John Cena. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, imagine, like, that guy, but it's actually Brock Lesnar. They're going to fight Brock Lesnar. That'd been cool, no nonsense. He's going to beat the shit out of this guy. He's all mystical, but then there's nothing coming of it.
Exactly. And plus, working with Paul Heyman as well, Bray Wyatt's promos could not be so goddamn boring.
Bray Wyatt has, we've said this before, but he has awesome delivery, but no substance to him.
Exactly. He's like, I have absorbed the Undertaker's powers, and I shall become his son in a way in which, like, look, dude, you're a badass. We gotta get to the fucking point.
And then, again, JoJo fucking interviews Roman. Oh my god. You could not put the two most boring people on this roster together to make a really bad fucking promo.
I kind of feel like them interviewing each other is like one of the bosses from Office Space interviewing that one super quiet guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so you're gonna kick his ass tonight, huh? Well, yeah, probably, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Dean.
Yeah, I believe that.
And then Dean comes out. They say something. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, and then Charlotte versus Brie. Not as good as Charlotte's last match with on pay-per-view.
I remember actually texting you after kind of watching a little bit of this match, and I was like, you know how they go off about the Divas Revolution every 10 goddamn minutes?
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, oh, Daniel Bryan's retiring. That entire match was like a really shitty cover band. It was like, do you want to see Ric Flair versus Daniel Bryan? No? Well, you can't. Well, so here's Charlotte versus Brie Bella, because that makes fucking sense.
And they made it a point to fucking mention the fact that, like, every chance they could, like, oh, we mentioned Bryan, we mentioned Nikki. How bad must you feel for Brie? Because she's not just Brie Bella, she's Nikki's sister and Bryan's wife.
Yeah, and then I remember I saw a sign in the crowd that was like Brie mode, and I'm like, Brie mode is whenever you're retired and you just want to chill in the background.
She's gonna retire soon.
I can imagine. Yeah, dude, she doesn't do anything.
That and like I guess because they want to start a family soon, which good for them.
Yeah.
And nothing, they haven't done anything for her since Nikki got the boob job. Like, oh, she wins, she gets all the titles now.
Why? Cause big titties.
Big old I'm not saying because she's dating John Cena or anything. I don't want to stir that pot, but I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
And they also made it a point to mention that Brie is wearing the same kick pads that Bryan wore at WrestleMania 30.
Which, I don't believe that for a fucking minute.
I doubt it's the same ones, but it's like the same design.
Yeah, same design probably, but not like... I can imagine it's like your dad giving you his old cup. It's like, wow, thanks for giving me this stuff that smells like fucking sweat and blood.
And imagine it'd be bigger. Like,
yeah,
it wouldn't
definitely.
even fit her.
I mean, Daniel Bryan's not a huge guy, but
I imagine his calves are bigger than Brie's.
Most likely.
And then, at some point, Charlotte started bleeding from the side of her nose. Do you have any idea where that came from?
I don't know. Probably a botched move. Most likely.
And then, at some point, Brie does the yes lock, and then she turned it into by the way, when Brie did the yes lock, it got really fucking over.
Yeah, I can imagine if Brie took this momentum from her husband and turned it into a positive, she could be a great character and a great wrestler. But it's not going to happen.
I've noticed I tend to like Brie more as a person than I do like Nikki, but I think Nikki's a better worker.
Yeah.
And then she turned that into a single leg Boston Crab. And then I don't know why, but I guess somehow Charlotte's leg strength kicked her off.
Dude, Charlotte to me reminds me a lot of Gumby. She's just a big blonde Gumby. Like, just seeing how she moves. You're picturing it now, just her, like, flopping around.
I'm imagining her doing the cartwheel on the outside before she goes in the ring as Gumby. And then Charlotte, she puts her in the figure 8, and then Brie taps, like, instantly.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even look like I'm hurt tapping out. It was like I'm sad, defeated tapping out. I don't care.
It's like, I just want to go home to my husband.
They say at one point she hurt her leg doing a drop kick. That may be why she tapped out immediately.
Maybe.
And then fucking JoJo, leave. There has to be more people in the world. Mauro Ronaldo is in the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let him do backstage interviews on Raw, but then let him do commentating on SmackDown. Wouldn't that be cool? At pay-per-views, let him do fucking ask people stuff, because he used to be like a fighter announcer. He must have he can come up with some pretty interesting questions.
Yeah, most likely, instead of having JoJo just like, so you have a match tonight. How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about having a match? How do you feel about being born?
How do you feel about doing your job?
Anyway, so JoJo was interviewing Y2J, and apparently she fucked up. Somebody fucked up and told her, or she said, Jericho, on Raw, AJ said that since you lost to him, it's been eating you up inside. When apparently it was Jericho that actually said that. And he gave her a look like she was the dumbest fucking person in the world, and then he saved the whole entire interview.
Probably because it's Chris fucking Jericho.
Yeah, he saved it, but like who? I can't tell if I'm pretty sure they gave her questions. So that means somebody in creative fucked up and forgot what the actual angle was.
Probably. Who the hell knows? All I know is Chris Jericho and AJ Styles have been the saints of the entire company for the past month.
Oh, yeah. And then Jericho versus AJ. I thoroughly enjoyed this match both times I watched it.
It was easily one of the matches of the night, even though Y2J almost ended AJ's career a good number of times.
Dude, the first time I didn't notice too much, but the second time I watched, like, he almost lands on his neck a lot. Fucking a lot. Like, they do that, what's that back body drop thing?
Yeah.
And AJ, he fixes his neck at the last possible second. It's scary as shit. Not too much to say about it. Again, it was just like a really solid, awesome match.
Awesome match, and I would love to see them, like, team up to challenge the New Day, or, like, maybe do something else, or maybe have Jericho manage AJ for, like, WrestleMania, and then just drop it there, and then have AJ kind of catapult him once he's introduced to the major WWE audience.
So apparently they're a tag team now?
Maybe.
Are they? Because I thought the thing on Raw afterwards was like, well, we're a team now.
Maybe. It kind of reminds me of that scene in Step Brothers to where they're like, are we best friends now? Yup.
And then the only really interesting not everything was interesting, but like at the end, towards the end, Jericho actually kicked out of the Styles Clash,
which is strange
because they made it a point to never do it.
Yeah.
So like when the first time they or they do it sometimes, but like, why would you kick out? Like I know like that's his big move. He defends it like the same way the Dudleys defended 3D. Nobody really kicks out of it except a few times. But why would because I guess it's because it's pay-per-view, you have to kick out of your opponent's finish.
Maybe.
Because like didn't AJ kick out of a code breaker early in the match?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. And then AJ immediately after the near fall goes into like the calf crusher, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then Jericho does the best fucking thing in the world. He does that thing where like, he looks like he's gonna tap, but he doesn't. Mm-hmm. And then that's when they break out of it or they go hit the ropes.
Kind of doing like the handshakey thing.
Yeah, the super handshakey thing. Like, he's going to tap. He's going to do it. No, okay, that's not going to do it. Then he actually does it, and then he actually does tap.
Yeah.
I thought that was super fucking awesome. Then afterwards, AJ celebrating on the turnbuckle, and then Jericho pulls him down. They have like a stare down, like, are we going to fight again? And then Jericho extends his hand, and then AJ shakes his hand.
And then the worst magician's dad walks off in defeat.
And then they got back together on Monday.
And then they got back together, and it's a beautiful love story.
And then it was the Cutting Edge Peep Show on pay-per-view with the New Day. I love Edge. I love Christian. I love the New Day. This was a not good segment.
Look, I get it. Christian and Edge, they have their new show on the WWE Network. I get it. You want to promote it. But it was... Like, literally, when I was groaning, whenever you brought it up, that's the sound I made for that entire segment. It was,
And I kind of don't want to watch the show because if that's the humor that's going to be on the show the entire time, it doesn't seem like something I want to watch.
Yeah, no, not really. Like, I loved the Cutting Edge. I loved Peep Show and stuff like this whenever, like, they were active on the roster. But now it just seems like telling really bad dad jokes. This entire pay-per-view was one really bad dad joke.
Essentially, but my favorite part of this entire thing was they had Tony Trimble come back to announce, like, the Rated R Superstar. That immediately is moment of the year. He needs to win a Slammy in December.
Yes.
And then they're doing the whole thing of, like, they're talking shit about every tag team. And then, because I sincerely thought that Enzo and Cash were going to come out. They're going to make their debut.
I was waiting for them to be like, oh, and, like, I'm the Rated R Superstar, or wherever the fuck the New Day and Edge and Christian are going to go back and forth. And then I would love this, and then I would love to hear this in the background while they're talking about unicorns or whatever the fuck. Like, all of y'all are soft, and then just they pop out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, allow us to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, and then they'll go to the host. That'd been fucking cool. But
yeah,
then,
that
like,
would be great.
Then they started mentioning the League of Nations. I'm like, they're geeks too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they keep mentioning them. I'm like, please don't. And then they mention them again. I'm like, fuck. And then
there's more tag teams.
And then they came out, the League of Nations. I'm like, please tell me that I can do a New Day League of Nations thing. Are they feuding now? Aren't they both heels?
I don't know anymore.
Because on SmackDown they dubbed the crowd. They're still booing the New Day. So the lesser of two sucks.
I guess heel versus heel. No one's gonna want that.
It can be interesting sometimes, but not when, like. I like the New Day, but I think they're only as strong as the people they face.
Yeah, exactly.
And the League of Nations is fucking terrible.
They're weak as shit. I mean, Barrett's gone. Del Rio's
Barrett's there. He wrestled a match on Monday.
Well, he's gonna be gone soon. Let's be real.
Oh, that's right. There's been rumors that he put in his notice or whatever.
Yeah, and someone's like, "Oh, he's gonna pull a CM Punk and go do another pipe bomb," and I'm like, if they do that, I will be so disappointed in WWE because Wade Barrett is a great wrestler and he's a great at portraying characters. Mm-hmm. And if he pulls a CM Punk, I'm gonna be so upset because then they're just gonna be recycling the entire thing.
Yeah, and what upsets me is that he's a great talker.
Yeah,
he never fucking talks in the League of Nations.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, and then all that shit happened, and then nobody cared. So that was the best segment on the show. And then my favorite thing in the world, the Social Outcasts came out.
Yay, Social Outcasts.
I was really fucking confused. And then they're talking about car safety or some fucking, I don't fucking know. And then R-Truth comes out. I'm like,
for some reason.
And I'm like, why is R-Truth coming out? And then he's singing his entrance. I haven't seen him do that in a long time.
What's up?
What's up?
What's
and
up?
then I'm like, okay. And then I see Curtis Axel in the ring with the shirt off. I'm like, no fucking way. And then Eden Styles is like, we have a match now. I'm like, get the fucking Curtis Axel and R-Truth on pay-per-view?
Why? And right after AJ and Jericho? What the fuck?
I think, why do they need, like, two, like, slow-down segments? You know, that was the talking segment with Edge and Christian and the New Day and the League of Nations.
Who the hell knows? I would love for the Social Outcasts just to wreck shit.
They almost did for a bit.
Yeah, but I want to see them, like come out to the ring and tear shit apart. I want to see them put Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and JPL through the English announce table, the Spanish announce table, and the French announce table.
The German announce table.
The
Dutch announce table, all the announce tables.
The Latin announce table. I want to see the language announce table, the sign language announce table,
the Tibetan announce table.
I want to see Curtis Axel, like, just smash someone through a barricade. I want to see Adam Rose take off, like, get the bunny he used to hang around and rip his head off, rip the costume head off and just beat the crap out of him. I want to see them just be vicious, but then, like, be psychotically funny at the same time.
Yeah. The Social Outcasts are a prime example of wins and losses mean jack shit.
Exactly.
Because haven't they won a lot of their matches?
Yeah, they seriously
have. And
they're
still literally at the bottom of the barrel.
Who the fuck knows anymore?
Technically, if wins and losses meant anything, the Social Outcasts mean more than Sting. Because Sting
really.
has won
0%.
He's won 0% matches in his WWE career.
Guys, I'm calling it WrestleMania. Heath Slater, WWE champion. Adam Rose, Intercontinental champion. And then Curtis Axel and
Bo Dallas?
Bo Dallas are the tag team champions. I forgot who the fuck else was in it.
How can you forget Bo Dallas?
Easily.
He's the heart and soul, the heart and bow of the social outcasts.
Just as soon as you
called
said
the
that,
Bosal outcasts.
Just as soon as you said that, you know how we were just talking shit about super kicks? I wanted to super kick Bo Dallas at that exact moment. Like, just shut the fuck up.
The heart and bow of the social outcasts.
The heart and bow, man.
And then, I thought like, oh, I forgot they're gonna do like they're doing the Goldust R-Truth thing. So like Goldust is gonna come in.
What does Goldust and R-Truth do even? Oh god.
Because they're trying to recreate the Booker T thing because R-Truth is black.
That's horribly racist.
When you need to replace somebody that's a nostalgia act that was black, get R-Truth. Because remember when Bubba Ray came back at the Rumble last year?
Yeah.
And like, oh, Devon isn't here, so we need the nearest black guy. You, Truth, let's do the 3D. And then
I must have a black guy to do this. If I don't have another black guy to do the 3D with, it's not gonna work.
I had an Asian, it just didn't work. Anyway, and then like, okay, Goldust is gonna come out, he's gonna help out because of the numbers game, and then R-Truth is gonna win. R-Truth lost, and then Goldust and R-Truth are arguing, and I'm like, this thing is still fucking going, isn't it? And then it went on, and then I was upset.
Went on and on and on and on.
I put Goldust came out, Axel wins, Truth is disappointed. We could have just summed it up in like 3
Pretty
sentences
much.
right there. And then we had Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was booed
and hissed out nearly out the building.
How I understand, like, okay, they're just fans having fun, but like, how I've never seen a fan boo Roman Reigns that like in the aisle that he comes down.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a person do that.
What WWE isn't understanding is, I get it, they want to push Reigns. Mm-hmm. I completely understand that. But if WWE wants to see it in this light of people aren't going to give them money to see a guy that they don't like win, then why the fuck are they doing it?
Yeah. And like, Ambrose has been nothing but cheered since he got here.
Exactly.
And Roman Reigns has been nothing but booed since he got here.
He is more over than a guy in a catapult trying to cross the Canadian border.
He's literally... Roman Reigns is the opposite of Daniel Bryan in every aspect.
Exactly.
Nobody likes him. They're pushing him way too much. He's big. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful man. But
oh, yeah, he's a very beautiful man.
But damn it, that's not all there is. He's so fucking boring.
And then out of this entire match, what we got is what we expected, and then Ambrose versus Lesnar.
I am super confused. Like, again, I am not upset at the idea of Ambrose versus Lesnar at Mania. I just wanted some closure from the Lesnar Wyatt thing.
Exactly.
And we never got that.
Exactly. There is 0% closure here. And then they're like, oh, Ambrose, gonna put you with Lesnar because why not? If anything, in theory, it's a good idea because we have this very technical guy versus a brawler. Seems like it'd be a good matchup, but then there's no substance. They just beat the shit out of each other on Monday Night Raw, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you now, and then they're like, well, let's settle it at Mania.
This match really... I think this match turned off a lot of people.
Oh,
because
yeah.
after this match, people were saying, like, this was a really bad show.
Yeah, definitely.
But in reality, if you actually just watched it, it was actually a really solid show with just a lot of dumb shit.
Exactly. And you know what? For one, I'm happy to see the premiere of Brock Lobster.
Brock Lobster?
Brock Lobster!
Dude, this dude is red as fuck.
I know. I was like, Brock, what is wrong with you? He was redder than your sweater, man.
Anyway, the match itself, like, I can't help but, like, compare it to the triple threat at the Rumble last year with, like, Seth and Cena
and Brock.
Yeah.
You know who's going over.
Yeah, you can't really help but to compare it to that, really.
Yeah, really. But then again, you had a really... Oh my god, it's basically the same thing. For one, you have Brock Lesnar. Two, you have a guy that's really technically sound, a guy that is a great fucking worker, and then you have the guy that's so over no one wants him to win. Or that's
not, like... He's not really over either, like, in the sense of, like, people like him. He's just, like, pushed.
Exactly.
He's over pushed. Like, so, I think in the minds of... Technically, on paper, Roman is Cena, Ambrose is Rollins, and Brock is Brock. But to the people, Roman is Rollins because... not like he stole his victory. I mean, it's no DQ, it's triple threat. You can't really steal a victory. But, like, he somehow, like... It felt like he weaseled in.
Yeah.
Because towards the end... They did a lot of cool spots. I actually really...
They're like, fuck it. Let's throw Brock Lesnar in there. Even though, you know what would have been great? Dean just versus Roman.
Then you would have had the same shit as last year, which was Roman versus Daniel Bryan, which pissed off a lot of people because, like, oh, you want this guy to win? Now we're going to beat him 2 times in a row.
No. Well, at least make it good or have some storyline behind it after or something instead of just having Roman win. You can have him win, but add some substance behind it or just something instead of just being like, oh yeah, he wins, see you guys at Mania, peace.
It's a thing of, like, he wins a lot, but he never succeeds.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything with it. Like, at the end of 2015, Roman Reigns was on this great just hype, and it was great, and then it just went downhill.
Yeah. And then on the Raw afterwards, I'm like, oh, because they did a thing like Triple H beat him up.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh, Roman Reigns got injured. My first thought was like, yes! Which should never be your first reaction to hearing somebody got injured, because you don't want anyone to get injured.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, that's terrible, but at the same time, it's like, I really do not like this person.
Yeah, me neither. And then it's like, oh, it's just a facial injury. It's like, oh, he's less man pretty.
Yeah. Then he's going to do the whole undashing Cody Rhodes thing, where he wears that plastic mask. Imagine Roman Reigns having a character. Imagine Roman Reigns having a fucking character. That'd be fucking cool.
Oh, God.
Anyway, this match had a lot of cool spots. Mostly, I love fucking Paul Heyman.
Oh, Paul Heyman's great.
Paul Heyman doing fucking Brock Lesnar's announcement.
Oh, yeah.
And
my client, Brock Lesnar.
And then hailing from the winner's corner, from the University of Minnesota, weighing in at 295 pounds. I'm like, yes.
Yes,
every day.
I would love to walk into a class to my classroom and then be like, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Grant
Levron.
Like, that just adds so much hype.
Yeah. I want Paul Heyman to be the new Ricardo Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
And just announce him every single day.
From Suplex City.
And then the best part is, like, he counts along, like, when he does a suplex. He's like, 1, that's 1. Everyone saw that one? He did 1. I'm like, yes, Paul. And then he was Paul. He was so sad and destroyed when they put him through both tables.
Yeah.
Like, he cares about this beast, his monster. He's like that guy from Star Wars Episode 6 who was really sad when the Rancor got crushed under the door.
Or he kind of reminds me of, like, Dr. Frankenstein, where he's like, I care for my monster.
But then, like, there's this one part where Brock's going to do the F5. Like, okay, here's the thing. Brock F5 Roman Reigns 3 minutes into the match.
Which is ridiculous.
Here's my thing. Dean Ambrose had to break up the pin in 3 minutes in the match, which means Roman was going to lose 3 minutes into the match. That does not make him look good.
I mean, Reigns 5:15, man. Reigns 5:15 says WWE doesn't give a shit about what you think. We're putting our guy over.
And then there's another part where okay, Brock's gonna F5 Ambrose, and then Roman spears him. Every time I see this spear from Roman, I'm just like, it puts that image in my head like he's gonna win.
Yeah, really.
And it makes me sad. And then Roman was gonna Samoan drop Ambrose, and then Brock Lesnar, after being put through 2 tables and being buried underneath all the debris, pops out. I wanted them to do the thing, like, because he just came out and did, like, you know, whatever. I wanted him to do that thing of, like, the monster, like, his hand just exploded out of the debris.
Oh, that would be great.
Like The Undertaker or something. Like, he came back to life and then just, like, murdered everybody. That'd been cool.
Well, I mean, because everybody knows Brock Lesnar doesn't play by human rules.
Yeah, no, because he himself is not human. He's a monster. He's a beast.
Exactly.
And then he's German suplex 2 men at the same time, which was fucking awesome. And then at some point, Roman spears Lesnar, and then Lesnar hits him in the Kimura lock. And then Reigns, you know, he stands up, which actually is pretty impressive because Brock's not a small man.
Yeah.
And then Dean comes in with the chair, which I'm actually really glad that they didn't do too much, like,
extreme spots
in this no disqualification thing.
Yeah, really.
It made it
Same,
look,
yeah.
So it made this, the one time they did, make it look really epic. And so he's beating the shit out of Lesnar with the chair. And then he turns around, then he beats the shit out of Roman with this chair. And then he throws Brock out of the ring, and then Roman immediately hits a spear, no selling the chair shots, and then wins. The ending was really anticlimactic.
Yeah, basically. Because you're thinking like, oh man, Ambrose is going to come back from behind and win this. And then it's like, no, JK, LOL, lol.
Yeah. The pay-per-view ended... They always do a safe thing, like the pay-per-view always ends at least 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, because they're still on pay-per-view providers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where it's safe to end a little bit early instead of like a minute late where you missed a finish.
Yeah, I think so.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but they did not have fireworks.
No, they didn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Because why would they? It's fucking FASTLANE.
It's Roman Reigns.
It's Roman Reigns at FASTLANE.
It's still Roman Reigns, but they're not like... I've noticed a lot of things. They've done a lot of production things.
Yeah.
Whether it's errors or just like things they've done on purpose that make you not like Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
Because at the Rumble, we missed AJ Styles' entrance for the
because
first
you're
time.
looking at
because we had to look at his dumb
Reigns
face.
like
Yeah, and then we missed Kofi's big Royal Rumble spot, his elimination, because we had to see Roman walk out of a match.
yeah, really. Well, Alex, let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about the future because there's something I've been wanting to talk to you about, and I see from the look on your face, you know exactly what it is because you know what's about to come. Here comes the money. Money. Okay, first of all, the next day, so Shane McMahon comes back with a huge pop, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm so happy to see him back because I personally just love Shane McMahon. First of all, his shoe game, on point. His hair game, not so much.
Damn, Shane, back at it again with the white Vans. That shit.
Yeah.
Except they were Jordans. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, and then... Okay, let's ignore the fact that the segment went on too long, and then I think they should play off the fact that Vince McMahon is just freaking crazy. They're like, let's do you versus the Undertaker at WrestleMania, Hell in a Cell for some goddamn reason.
I thought like it sounds like they're rolling dice that has like match types on them. Shane McMahon against roll the dice, Undertaker and roll the dice, Hell in a Cell. At roll the dice WrestleMania.
Yeah, really. And then it's like, so is Undertaker heel now? Or are we supposed to not root for him? I don't get it.
Here's what I've been hearing. Because like we didn't see Undertaker agree to that.
No,
what if
didn't.
he was just like, I don't agree to that shit. Fuck you. What if that's just like Vince McMahon's like, I need to get this fucker out of the way. Let's give him the biggest man, the biggest match, and the biggest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I kind of imagine the Undertaker's just like, oh, I don't know about this, guys. I'd rather just go fight the social outcast. See you later.
Yeah. What if they were the new Spirit Squad?
Oh my god.
I just thought about that.
That'd be great.
What if like Dolph Ziggler joins the social outcast? He basically is one.
Yeah, he might as well do it.
He's. I mean, it's back to true form, being part of the Spirit Squad again.
Oh man, but that would mean he have to cut his hair, which at this point,
Please.
Oh
no, he'd have to cut his stupid hair. Oh no.
he'd have to stop doing the crown of braids.
Damn, how will we go on?
How shall I go on without that beautiful, dirty blonde mess?
Yeah, so are we actually going to do that match? Because if so, who are we supposed to cheer? Because yes, we want a new authority figure who's a face in Shane McMahon who we haven't seen in years. But at the same time, it's Undertaker at WrestleMania. Name the last time Undertaker was a heel at WrestleMania. Has he ever been a heel at WrestleMania?
No, he's never been a heel. At WrestleMania.
Okay, so who the fuck are we supposed to cheer for if that match actually happens? Which I'm positive it's not going to.
Okay, I have an idea here.
What you got?
This is a very, 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 very long shot. But I could see Reigns getting screwed over out of his title shot. Shane coming up to him and say, hey, you want back in the WWE Championship? You want help? I got you. Fight The Undertaker for me. Or some shit like that. I don't know. At this point, what I'm saying is making way more sense than what WWE Creative's coming up with.
Yeah, because that'd be interesting.
Yeah, really.
He walks up to Bo Dallas. I need you to do me a favor. Take out
The Undertaker for me.
Because I remember at one point your streak was almost as legendary as the fucking Undertaker streak. Actually, bring the guy who's actually undefeated at WrestleMania. Bring The Miz in.
Or Rob Van Dam, who's also undefeated at WrestleMania.
Or bring in the anti-Undertaker and bring back Jeff Hardy, who's never won at WrestleMania.
Ooh, yeah, he has never won at WrestleMania.
Nope. I'm thinking, has Rey Mysterio ever lost at WrestleMania?
Probably.
No.
Knowing Rey Mysterio, he's probably never been put over at WrestleMania.
I mean, I remember the first one, he was against Matt Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
And he won that one. That was 19?
Probably.
Who did he face at 20? I don't fucking care. Anyway.
Who the fuck knows anymore? Guys, I feel like this podcast has been a good representation of where WWE's at right now.
Yeah, we're just kind of like fucking around at this point.
Fuck it.
And my thing is, I realized, like, earlier this week, this is the first WrestleMania that John Cena has missed since he started wrestling.
Ooh, that is true. He's always been back for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This could be the first one that he misses.
Maybe he's going to be like a host type thing?
Maybe. Or, if the rumors are true, he gets well enough to fight The Undertaker
I sincerely doubt that.
for Shane.
I sincerely doubt that.
A man can dream, Alex. A man can dream.
I've never been a huge fan of Cena, but I actually really do miss Cena in this really terrible age of what wrestling has become.
Oh, God. Like, it's bad whenever the company is the underdog in their own event.
Yeah, and this was the biggest WrestleMania in history because with 100,000 people and everybody is gone, there's nobody. The only interesting people you have in terms of big stars is Brock and Taker. You're trying to make big stars. It's not working. The biggest star you want, Reigns, is not over at all.
Not at
the
all.
guy you don't want to be over is over as shit in Dean Ambrose.
Yep.
And then everybody else is gone. I mean, Cesaro would have been there. That'd been cool. If Tyson Kidd would have been there, that'd been cool. If Cena would have been there, that'd have been,
Perfect. Boom.
Yeah, typical. And then who else is injured? Sin Cada's back, right? But nobody cares.
I don't even know
Because
anymore. Probably.
Everyone's injured.
Okay. Nikki Bella versus The Undertaker at this point. Who the fuck cares?
Nikki Bella versus Michelle McCool in a dating the big guy match.
That would. Oh my God. Too bad.
I miss that Sarah tattoo Undertaker used to have.
Oh yeah, and then it was just replaced by a black bar.
Yeah. No, didn't he get it lasered off?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he has something else right now.
And now he has barbed wire around his neck, which nothing's seedier than an old man with barbed wire around his neck.
I don't know. Anyway, so I guess to get back to FASTLANE, I want to connect things on Raw. They had the same exact fucking match with the Titans versus the Wyatts, except they replaced Braun with Bray. And at some point, Ryback tags in Kane, and then Kane is winning the match, but then Ryback just leaves.
Why does he just leave? Did he turn on them?
No, he's just I think in the backstage area, he goes, "I'm tired of being in tag team matches." If that was true, then why the fuck did you go out there?
Exactly.
And it's not like they're when a person leaves, either their tag team partner fucked up or they were losing. Neither was happening. They were both everyone was winning. Their team was fine, but then he just fucking left.
If anything, Ryback's embodying how the rest of the audience feels right now.
So that means the Ryback's going to be in a singles match, right?
Hopefully.
Or he's going to be in the Andre Battle Royal. Is he going to win that? Because we were talking about this before. Was the idea of Braun Strowman winning that Rumble because they have a boner for Braun Strowman. But they made Ryback a singles competitor. We're trying to push him as a singles competitor. Let's have him win the Battle Royal. If you want him to be booed more than he already is, do not let him win that match.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that really concludes anything that happened, interesting that happened on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had a Roman Reigns versus Del Rio with the League of Nations at ringside. And then Roman Reigns hit the spear on Del Rio. There was the count 1, 2, and then Triple H music hits, and then he beats him up. I guess there was no contest.
I guess.
There was no bell ringing. There was no...
They're just hey, let's beat each other up and see what the fuck happens.
The word is that Triple H did that because Shane came back, and he wanted to say you like Shane, but I'm the real man here. Is that...
Who knows?
I don't know. But again, a bit shorter than the last pay-per-view, but then nothing happened.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm sure we're going to be doing another podcast right before WrestleMania to kind of get everything in, but right now, WWE is just a giant clusterfuck.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do our predictions podcast that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then a week after WrestleMania, are you still down for that WrestleMania party?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. It's going to be a very disappointing event with a lot of good friends.
Let's all be disappointed together.
Yeah, that's all you could ever ask for. Speaking of, are you going to watch the Oscars tonight?
Oh, hell no.
I'm not going to watch it, but I want Leo to win.
It's funny how in a world where he only grunts, that's when he wins.
Hopefully.
Anyway,
thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next month after WrestleMania.
And of course, always remember, my name is Grant Levron, and I am kind of a stud, and you can't teach that. His name is Alex, and he has a beautiful beard, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, kind of the saddest guys in the room. How you doing?
The only guys in the room.
The only guys in the room. How you doing?
Bye, guys.